Okay, it's now November 7th, so it's actually a month, and I'm still writing and putting all this stuff together. Um, I mean, it's sort of futile in a way. I don't know why. It's very hard. That's basically it. So, my questions are: why and how can Malaysia deny me medical treatment for a dangerous disease? Why and how can Malaysia allow for a condo owner to liberally poison me with a fatal disease? How can CHCKL not only dismiss my urgent Malaysian crisis, but block me from returning to Canada deliberately? So all this stuff is human rights and crimes, and I'm dying from this thing. It's not a joke. It's really frightening me. I've been told to get out of my apartment just because the way these people are. Doesn't matter. You've been here too long. It's a condominium the building that's empty. I'm here too long, and then they didn't give me any bills for a long time. And I was asking them, and oh no, just madness. These people are. Why can't CHCKL stop Dr. Hedy Fry from contacting me, and then Hedy Fry throw my files to the RCMP, my private medical files? These files are so critical and can only be for a physician, and they require my permission to release them for any reason. I reached out to her simply for advice because the situation was so bad, with no medical treatment, with the CHCKL, playing mahjong with my life. I just couldn't. I didn't know what to do, and I still don't know what to do. And I'm getting weaker, and the disease is going deeper, and what a nightmare. As Canada and the PMO, because Justin Trudeau knows, Hedy Fry knows, the disease is deadly, and my heart was damaged, and that without treatment, it's 100% deadly. Why would they allow me to suffer and experience death at their hands? Because they have taken on a responsibility. A situation like this, when you have appealed to them for help, and they ignore it, and you're deaf. So, what are they going to do with my dead body? Exactly. So I'm putting it out there for Her Honor Fatou Bensouda. I hope I'm saying it right. Pamela Anderson, Julian Assange, Amel Clooney, maybe, perhaps. I'm censoring myself, and I don't know why. All this stuff is real. It's what has happened. If I overwrite and share too much, sorry folks, I'm dying from this, and I am in great difficulty. Okay? This is all getting whacked up. This is getting damaged, So why would they spend $1 million to prevent a Canadian from going back home who is experiencing basically, this? There is no way that I could have worked around something like this into a budget or anything like this, especially if you're not getting help. I mean, I wish I could have left, but I couldn't. The day that my flight was leaving, which I had packed for, was the day I had a brain bleed. Charming. Okay, so I'm reaching back out and making sure you'll see all of this. It'll be coming to you soon. I will definitely mail it today. It's 1:03 a.m. So why would, Pamela, I'm begging. This is me on bended knee. Julian, because you have access to the internet and you know how things work. I don't. Okay? I'm on the internet. I've been putting these files out now since it happened, trying to attract attention so that I could get help. Okay? So you will know how real I am and true I am, and the situation is so incredible. So I know that you're a great guy to do things and make positive changes in the world. Dude, I'm done. Okay? And there seems to be nothing I can do to get out of it. I'm really being held hostage here. So, please, I beg you. I may not have the strength to go after Madam. I'm sending it to her, but she has to respond like ASAP. And I need an advocate to get this thing going, because what the heck am I going to do? And I can't, Canada is freaking me out. Like, I cannot believe that they would do something like this. Like, why? What is the point of any of this? You know? How you doing, Wendy? Okay, so yeah, I actually have to think of death, all right, and say, okay, you can call him and work out how to get me cremated. Unbelievable. You know? My daughter. Human rights. Holy crap, huh? I don't want to break down. And I'm so close to breaking down again from the shock, the exhaustion, the disease. Okay? This is all bloody real. This is my body being tortured. Like, why? Oh, this is so horrible. Okay, so here's the big situation with Canada, is what they have done before. 20 years ago, almost to the date, to the time, I was in a serious medical crisis, which Canada turned into a massive butchering of my body. Nobody else in the world would have done this, and they actually have wanted to know why I had this happen. And even the Canadian doctors abuse me for this, because when they look at my mouth, they start claiming all kinds of crap, which offends me to know I cannot handle them. But let me show you what was done, if I can find it. I know it's a lot of information, and I do apologize, but I didn't create the information. This is what was done to me, and I had to record it. And I mean, did I think it'll ever get this far? No way. How could anybody think? This is beyond any reality that I could ever know. Okay. Where is it? Where is it? My babies. Where is it? I want to make this short and sweet so we can get out of here. Where? This file has so much in it. Okay, so I had a normal mouth. I had been going to dentists often. And what happened in 1996, 7 kind of thing, 98, was the tumors had formed and had been there for quite some time apparently, and the dentist had seen it and never said anything. There were fistulas, which is a leaking abscess, and so they knew about it. They, you know, I had consulted many of them. I went to endodontists, all kinds of stuff like that, just, you know, trying to get things done, and they came back with it'll cost you $5,000, and I had to make up some sort of you know, I had to figure out how I was going to get the $5,000, and in the meantime, I was deadly ill because I had developed septicemia. The bone was rotting, poison going into my brain, meningitis. I mean, just nasty crap, right? Of course, my family ditching me and carrying on. So damage was done. This was done by Canada. This was done by Korea, trying to reestablish the jaw with implants. So each of these implants, he gave me a discount. They were usually $1,500. He gave it to me for $1,000, and I was supposed to go back in and put one there. And because of this hair, I had lost bone, so they were going to filled me with this cow bone stuff, and that actually went septic as well. And then they wanted to go in and break off more of the bone from here and put it up here. I'm sorry, that's just like torture. I mean, they hammer your face to break the bone. So, yes, it's not something that you can. And then it destroyed my intestines. And this is what the treponema disease looks like. It's a common thing in the tropics and around the world. But anyway, so if this in total to fix cost $100,000 that people donated to me, because of the excruciating circumstances, because I was going to die again. So how is it that Canada could be allowed to do all this and not do it once? It seems to be twice now. I had planned to be back in Canada by June. It's November, December, it's winter. I don't have any winter clothes. I had nowhere to stay because of all this crap. I would have planned everything. I would have been able to save money. It's been a rocket ride of incredible disaster. So I pray that you will help me and we can work out what is going on with all of this stuff and get me home. Or listen, if Canada is being such an issue, is there any way to fly me somewhere else to get treatment? Because without treatment, I am in deep trouble. And then you can build back Canada. Because this is just cray-cray. Anyway, it's all here. And now it's going in the hands of the people that will make a difference, I'm hoping. Dude, what happened? And then I read, this is what is so funny, I actually read an article by his Governor General where she actually mentioned that she was against astrology and climate control, and it was this is a statesperson talking about astrology, which is just entertainment. But the thing is, somebody had asked me, what if you can write something on Justin and use astrology and numerology? And I said, well, fine, I will. I mean, I know certain things. I'll just, do some research, and I did it. But it was just, for me, language acquisition, making me go, oh, wow, this is great. Oh, this is interesting. That's all it is. It's something to be amused with. But you have the Governor General making a speech about it, which worries me, because does it mean that I am more in trouble because I actually wrote this here? I don't know. I mean, they're acting so strange that I actually do not know what they are doing. Okay? So I ended up writing about my life. Now this part down here is a complete mystery as to how, it straightened itself out. How is that possible? This was repeating itself like 6 million times. Okay? Now I've been getting a lot of flack with what I look like. What I look like? I look like this, I look like this, I look like this, I look like this. But in Canada, they come up to you or even stop you at the airport because they profile you, thinking you're some kind of terrorist or whatever. I mean, what was I told? I don't know how come you're coming into Canada for a weekend from Seoul. I said, because I have to pick up my student. Very simple. They threw me for 4 hours, drilling me, and I'm looking at them going, I don't understand this. And they said to me, why didn't you tell us you were Canadian? And I said, well, I did, but you told me to shut up. So, anyway, it looks like it's cleaned up its mess. Oh, okay, no. Here it is. It's all in here. This came up. This is an accident. It's not even on the document. When I go into edit it, this does not exist anywhere. So, I don't know how I did it, but look at it. Oh my God, this is crazy. How did it do this? Sorry folks, I have no idea why that is there. Okay, none. But there it is. I'm trying to make everybody's life easier by allowing them to understand who I am, what I am. And Your Honor, Fatou Bensouda, I beg you. I may only be able, I don't know how long I can fight this thing, because I don't really know what it is. November the 13th is the 10th month, and I tell you something, this last month has been the worst. I have zero energy. I started ODing on vitamins again, because I just needed the energy to keep going. And it has made a bit of a difference, which makes kind of a sense of my body's being depleted by everything. But, it's expensive for me to keep doing all these things. I'm juggling things that I don't know. I'm going to try and get in touch with a hospital again and figure out what to do with it. Okay? I just don't know what to do. It's just beyond any rational, you know, who, I don't understand. And what I need to find out is to help him to keep alive. Because whatever went on in that family came through the female line. Okay? And the men experienced it. This is my grandson, Elliot. Okay? I'm the only male grandson of that line. And the only one that knows anything about it. I'm sure I've tried to talk to these people, but guess what? They're not interested. They don't understand it at all. What the hell does this thing do? Okay. So now I think you know. I hope you can help. Bye-bye for now.